last week was an opportunity for the Detroit Lions to just move forward. Weather the storm of the injuries that are happening and potentially get to the next phase. And I love what Dan Campbell was talking about. He went on Sirius XM. We'll play you the clip, but he was on Sirius XM. He brought this up. So this was the thing. He said no excuses. Once you let him through the door, you're gonna play. But I'm gonna play you the
We're
clip.
not taking excuses, and you can't, because once you let that in the door, then everything's an excuse, And
Yep.
those guys, whoever you are, we're going to give you a chance to make a play and help us do your job, but you gotta hold up your end of the bargain and go balls to the wall.
So what Dan Campbell says right there is very, very key to know. We all know Dan Campbell doesn't like excuses, but I love what he said at the end of that clip. I love what he said at the end of that clip. I'll play it again after I talk about this, but he said, "We will put you in position to succeed. It's just up to you to go do it." That's what he said. And that was the most fantastic part about that game. The coaches put the players in a position to succeed. And the players ran away with it for the most part. I mean, think about a guy like Ezekiel Turner, the linebacker. Man, that was a fantastic game by Turner, and he made the play of the game on Jordan Love. That tackle on Jordan Love was fantastic. But again, listen to the last part of the clip. This is the most.
We're
That was
not
the most
taking
important.
excuses, and you can't, because once you let that in the door, then everything's an excuse, And
Yep.
those guys, whoever you are, we're going to give you a chance to make a play and help us do your job, but you gotta hold up your end of the bargain and go balls to the wall.
You got to hold up your end of the bargain. That's what he says, and that's the way that culture is. When you think about culture, that's what culture is. When things go wrong, when injuries mount, and you got to have players ready to play. Dan Campbell and that coaching staff, they put him in a place to succeed, and it's ultimately up to them. And that's how you build a culture. Like all of us Lions fans for years, we were waiting and hoping for a guy who could rebuild the culture of the Detroit Lions. We were hoping that they could rebuild the culture of the Detroit Lions. We heard it so many times from so many different people. Rebuilding the culture. We're gonna rebuild the culture. None of them really rebuilt the culture. They just made it up. They were saying, "Oh, we're gonna rebuild the culture," but Dan Campbell has done it, and that was the no excuses. And once you let them through the door, everything is an excuse. I love that line, man, because that's a line that people should use throughout life. Life. Once you let excuses come through the door, it's gonna happen all the time. But the Detroit Lions are getting healthy. When you think about Pascal, McNeil, Decker, full practice. You think about Levi Onwuzurike and DJ Reader practicing even as limited as they were. Tomorrow is going to be Friday, a big day for practice in terms of where they're going to be. It's going to be very, very interesting. So we'll see what happens there, but you got to love the way this has gone down.